Welcome to the Senior Moments Podcast, brought to you by SCAN, the Senior Citizens Activities Network, and our friends at New Jersey Natural Gas and the Save Green Project. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike Cevolino, the Executive Director here at SCAN, the Senior Citizens Activities Network, joined on every show by our Communications Director, the lovely and talented Ms. Andrea Tarr.
Hey, how are you?
What's shaking?
So many things
Oh
are
my
shaking.
God. It's like an earthquake shake
Yeah,
factor.
but a good one.
Right.
So let's see. We just had our brain health fair
We
in
did.
Toms River. You know, we do one here. We had a great one at the mall. Then we did one in Toms River. We had a very interesting keynote address by the folks from Hackensack Meridian Health. And they talked about Love Your Brain
Oh my
yoga.
goodness. Oh wow. That's
So
wild.
so interesting. It really was. And then we did it. We all kind of did it as a group. We did Love Your Brain yoga.
And how's your relationship with your brain now after you've...
Much better.
Yeah,
I'm much calmer.
it's good.
It is.
I've broken up with my brain, so I think I need to take that.
You might want to do some Love Your Brain
I think
yoga.
I have to do that. I want to talk about that, but before we do, we are still reverberating off of what was a tremendous night. Folks, last night, Thursday night, June 6th, we attended Dancing with the Stars, every other year event put on by Caregiver Volunteers of Central Jersey. And our very own Mary Beth Kwapniewski, our programming director, joined by our instructor David Meenan, took home first place out of 9 dancing couples. They were fantastic. The video
Mary
is
Beth.
on the Caregiver
Love it.
Volunteers website, so I invite you to go and check it out if you haven't seen it. We are so very proud of them.
First of all, I had never been there before. It was an absolutely awesome
Yes,
event.
it
I loved
was.
it. I really loved it. And Mary Beth and David crushed it.
They were so amazing.
So today we have Mary Beth heads
Yes, to
all
celebrate.
over the office.
But to get back to what you were speaking about previously, as we know, brain health is a very important component for seniors in their overall health, all of us.
Right, and I kind of feel like it's our overarching mission at
Yes.
SCAN to be watching over brain health of seniors.
And I understand that Brain Awareness Month is this month right
June,
here. Yes,
that's right.
And so our guest today, there's really no one better to help us talk about brain health, to help us talk about Alzheimer's and of the awareness and all associated with that. Ladies and gentlemen, the Executive Director of the Alzheimer's Association of New Jersey, please welcome to the show, Cheryl Francione.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Andrea.
You're
I'm very
welcome.
pleased to be here. And thank you
Excited
for
to have you.
recognizing that June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month.
Yes, it is. Well, you know, it's something that's very important to all of our members, and as Andrea just pointed out, something that we're always cognizant of here at SCAN, so certainly a great time to have you on the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm actually delighted to be here because organizations like SCAN are just what our older adults need to keep them active, engaged, and feeling like a part of the community.
You could work here, by the way.
I unsolicited,
That's like a talking point for us.
Well, you know, our tagline is keeping seniors active, healthy, and connected. And
Isn't that interesting?
there you go.
Well, I think it's really important because being socially engaged, being educationally stimulated,
Yeah.
being active and out and about with others around you is really important. It's a key component of brain health. We know that social isolation is very bad for the brain.
So talk about a little bit about what your organization does to mark this month and some of the other activities that you guys are doing right now.
Absolutely. The work that we do goes on all year, but Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month is the perfect month to elevate it. So while we provide free care and support services all year round to anyone who is struggling with cognition issues, dementia diagnosis, or even just is concerned about not wanting this to happen to them, how do I keep myself healthy and cognitively sound? All of that is provided by us, free education to the community. We also provide support groups and activities for people to be involved in us. It goes well beyond the fundraising. It's really about leading communities to drive change. We know that people don't like to talk about cognition problems. When
or admit it.
That's right.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Or
There's a lot of denial, right?
Yes, there is.
maybe you're even unsure. I don't really have one. You know,
Right.
You're not really.
Right. And it's a phobia that people have. So it's interesting. I always say that at a cocktail party, it's hard for me to introduce myself because if I say I'm the executive director of the Alzheimer's Association, people go, oh.
Talk to you.
I have to take this call.
Right. So instead, I talk about how I help families navigate challenging situations, and we approach it that way until they get comfortable talking about the topic of cognition, because really, this diagnosis affects the whole family.
Yes.
So it's the caregivers, it's the adult children, spouses, neighbors, employers. So it's really important that we at the Alzheimer's Association educate communities on how to help people on the dementia journey have a great quality of life.
Right. So talk a little bit about you seem very passionate, obviously, about this. Can you talk a little bit about your background
Sure.
and how you came
Yeah,
to get
what
this
brought you
role,
to
how
this?
long you've
Sure.
been in it, and a little bit about your day-to-day, too.
Absolutely. So many, many years ago, I was in for-profit America. I was the vice president of an insurance brokerage and doing that work, and I was always gravitating toward not-for-profit work in my free time. And when my children were born, I said to my husband, I really feel like, although I've enjoyed a wonderful career, I'm not part of the community. I leave in the morning, I wave to my neighbors, not sure I even know their names, come home and go about my life. I really want to make a switch where we're part of the community.
Right.
And so
We get that.
Yes, it's so
one
important.
of the most rewarding aspects of working in
Yeah.
nonprofit.
Right. So I switched careers when my children were born and started at the YMCA. So having been at the executive level in my for-profit career, as they grew, I grew. And as I could release them to do things on their own, I started to take on more responsibility at work. And what I saw at the Y is that we had a lot of things for children, a lot of things for parents, and not very much for older adults.
Okay.
I would come in
That's
and they
terrible.
would be
Right.
they'd be having coffee in the lobby for hours because there was nothing else
Nothing
for
else
them to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So I started to take on this mission of having a robust agenda for them each day, and I basically fell in love with the older adults at the Y. And then when my children graduated from school, I said, it's time for me to go back and get my master's in this, which I did. I went back and got a master's degree in executive not-for-profit leadership.
You did?
I did, with
That's
a
wonderful.
focus on older adults and keeping them engaged. So that's how my history began with all of this, and I had this great population to test everything out
At the
on
Y.
at the Y. And then as time evolved, I had this wonderful opportunity at the Alzheimer's Association to re-emerge their Greater New Jersey chapter about 7 years ago when they went on a search for an executive director. And it's really been my joy to rebuild the chapter, build community, just get to meet our families every day, and help those who are struggling with cognition issues.
Now, when you heard about that job opportunity, whether somebody sent it to you or you saw a posting, whatever, what did you immediately think? This is
my job.
This is what I've been
Yes.
planning for.
So being a busy mom and a busy employee, I wasn't really looking at the time, and my husband sent it to me and said, "This is you." And I looked at it and I said, "You are right." And that's how it all began. And it's really just been my joy because cognition issues are frightening. A dementia diagnosis is terrifying, and it paralyzes families. They really don't know what to do next. And my job is to make sure that their journey is better and that I connect them with the proper support and resources to have a good life with their loved one.
So let's talk a little bit about your organization. How long have you been around? What's kind of the backstory of the association and the
Sure.
New Jersey chapter? And
Sure.
Yeah, why don't we start with that?
Sure. So the Alzheimer's Association was established in 1980 by a gentleman who his wife had a dementia diagnosis, and he really thought about the fact that there wasn't enough there for families. And so he and a group of adult caregivers got together and founded the organization in 1980. And it's been progressing ever since. So the work of the Alzheimer's Association is really in 3 different areas. The first is providing local care and support services, as I described.
Right.
We never charge anyone for any of our services provided at the chapter level. Not only do we provide free education, support services, and support groups, we also have a free helpline because this disease is sneaky. In the middle of the night,
That's right.
someone could wander.
It's a 24/7. Yeah.
So when the rest of us are sleeping, a caregiver is probably not. And even if their loved one is sleeping, they're probably staring at the ceiling, terrified about what may come next.
Gosh.
So the 800 number is a free resource for them. They can call 24/7 as many times as they want. They never are asked for a dime, not a donation, not an insurance card, nothing. And the service can be provided in up to 200 languages and dialects.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's very impressive.
It's important because it's what we need at the hours where we're most distressed.
Yeah.
And I will mention that sleep disruption is very bad for the brain. So when we wake up in the middle of the night chronically, worrying and unable to fall back to sleep, it's not healthy for those without cognitive
It makes
impairment.
for a
Let
very
alone-
difficult day. Yeah.
Yes.
And we talk about that a lot, about sleep deprivation. It is a big problem,
It is.
especially when you're a caregiver.
That's right.
Yeah.
So let's just say a family member calls the office. What are some of the first things that happen? My loved one, I think, has Alzheimer's or something's not right.
So when they call the 800 number, everyone there is a social worker or master's level trained. So they always get a live person within 20 to 30 seconds. And the person will try to pinpoint what is the main reason for your call today so that I answer you specifically and not generally. And if the person gives their zip code, for example, 08724 is the brick zip code where I reside. So I'll say, I'm Cheryl Francione. My zip code is 08724. We just went to the doctor. There's some concern about my loved one and cognitive issues. I really need to get to a neurologist because this came from my primary care physician. So then the person on the phone knows, okay, zip code, neurologist. They go immediately into a database. We have a nationwide database. And they will search via zip code. Okay, how many miles would you be willing to travel? 5, 15, 50. And they will give them a list of all of the options in that area. And that could be from neurologist to, I think I need an elder care attorney, or I think I need someone to come into the house to help me one day a week. Whatever the category is, we have a database called the Community Resource Finder, and all of those listings are available to them by geography.
Okay, wow, that is really something. So right away, they've been given a wealth of information almost near their home in some cases, where they can get immediate support.
And this is all from your helpline?
Yes, we also do that at the chapter
Why don't we just
level.
say what that helpline is?
Yeah.
Yes,
We'll put
let's
it in
give
the
it out,
show
yes.
notes too.
Thank
yeah.
you. It's
Go ahead.
800-272-3900. They can certainly call our chapter. We also provide assistance. We ask them to keep this number in addition to that,
Right.
so that they have 24-hour support. I talk to people all day long who need resources and help. I make sure they're speaking with me and also our helpline. Because I'm one human, they can access as many humans as they need through this helpline.
So that's 800-272-3900, folks. And as Andrea said, we'll pop that in the show notes
Yeah.
when you listen to this online later. So what are some ways that folks can keep their brains healthy?
Absolutely.
Do you have tips and resources?
Oh, yes.
Come to SCAN.
Yes.
Yeah, that's number one.
Number one.
Absolutely. We are firm believers in day activity programs, and I don't think we have enough of them in New Jersey. So when
Probably
I first,
not.
I visited SCAN and I found out that you have 2 locations, one in Toms River.
Well, that's
and
right. I'll call that our southern campus.
Yes. And I was thrilled because I think we need communities like SCAN all over the place, organizations like yours. People need a place to go. They need to feel like they have a purpose when they're maybe perhaps not working full-time anymore.
Right.
They need people counting on them to meet them and engage in activities with them, or what's the reason for them to get up, get dressed, and get out, right? So staying active is essential. Exercise at a moderate level is essential. Many people feel like, oh, if I can't take a spin class or I can't jog a 5K, then I'm just not
Not
gonna
doing
talk
it.
about I'm not going to do it. You do not have to be an athlete to keep your brain healthy.
You can walk.
Right. So physical activity, a little bit each day, everything counts.
How
whether
about
it's-
learning something new, like taking a language?
Yeah, like a
or,
foreign language.
You got it, Mike.
or playing
Playing
an
it-
instrument.
Right, right.
Playing a new card game,
Yeah.
doing a crossword puzzle. Learning something new every day is really important because as we age, we get very set in our rote schedules and we don't challenge ourselves anymore. We make our coffee the same way. We go to the store the same way. We make our bed the same way. So we're not really challenging ourselves to learn something new.
I mean, you could learn something watching Jeopardy, but it's not the same as
But I mean-
taking a
Passing.
language class. Yes,
The
thank
whole,
you.
the whole
Well said.
point even of our brain health fair is that we're trying to be that specific that you must learn new things.
Yes. Because the brain can continue to learn new things throughout the entire life cycle.
We don't like hearing people say, "Oh, I'm done," or "No, I'm too old." No,
You
no.
could say that at the end of the day.
We don't.
Done for the day.
Done.
Yeah, we don't buy into that at all.
Right. Well, that's why I'm so excited to be here because, as I said, I need to be able to tell people about great places to go where there's always something
you.
wonderful to do.
And right back at you, too.
Yeah.
So, what's a day in the life of the executive director of the Alzheimer's Association of New Jersey? Tell
Busy,
folks
I
a little bit
think.
about
Yes. Well, I'm in county after county because we do have a presence everywhere across the United States, which is one of the benefits of the Alzheimer's Association.
It's
So-
a lot for one office to handle the whole 21 counties of New Jersey.
I actually share responsibility for those southern counties. My territory goes from the New York border through Ocean County, and my colleague
that all?
That's all.
that's 14 out of the 21. And my colleague from the Philadelphia chapter oversees the bottom 7 counties.
Okay.
But we work holistically to make sure that New Jersey gets what they need, which is one of the things I love about the Alzheimer's Association. I can have local impact and help people locally, and I can tap into resources nationwide and around the world. Well, it's a phone call away for me to help someone who maybe the daughter lives here and mom and dad live in California and she can't relocate. I can say, just give me a minute. Here's the 800 number. Let me call my colleague in San Diego and make sure that they can support your parents locally until you can get out there. So I love that I have that at my fingertips. So we have national impact, global impact with our research investments. Over $100 million invested globally in over 1,000 projects around the world.
Wow.
So we go from global to national to local support, and it's a triad. And that way we just cover all of the scope of this disease.
And that's all of that in 40 plus years. 1980 you started.
Yes.
That's really, truly incredible amount of growth and that many people served. You are listening and watching the Senior Moments podcast brought to you by SCAN. Our guest today is Cheryl Francione, the Executive Director of the Alzheimer's Association of New Jersey. So how do you raise awareness but also funds for all of these important programs that you have? What are some of the big fundraisers that folks should be looking out for, wanting to contribute to, and getting involved in?
Certainly. So may I start with awareness a little bit?
Yes, please.
Yes.
So in addition to collaborating with organizations like SCAN and making sure that my team and I and our amazing volunteers are out in community all the time, talking to people, making sure that they're aware and that it's okay to talk about cognition issues. We also have a very strong state and federal advocacy program. So Governor Murphy's team, we work with them regularly, the State Assembly and all of the Division of Aging and Department of Health and Human Services.
And this should be an issue that is supported across both sides of the aisle, I would think.
And
you
it
cannot
is.
have
I hope
a
so because
partisan
anybody
issue.
could be affected
Exactly.
by this. Yeah.
And you know what? That's what I love. I love to be able to tell people, whatever you're reading in the media or watching on the news, it's very different when you're sitting down with our members of the State Assembly and our members of Congress, because they're people just like you and have mothers, fathers, spouses, siblings who are experiencing this, and they all want to help. I have yet to sit down with one political leader who has said, I don't have time for you.
I feel that it's so common that everyone knows someone who's been affected by this,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Sadly,
Whether it's in
yes.
your own family or a relative, but sadly it's way too common.
It is. So what we're working on now, with the State Assembly and the Division of Aging and Department of Health and Human Services is a public awareness campaign.
Great.
There is a bill proposed right now.
So needed.
So we're working on that. We're doing a State Advocacy Day in Trenton to talk more about that. Senator Greenstein, she may say Greenstein, is supporting that bill for
We'll
public
have her on the
awareness.
show and ask her.
Exactly. Thank you, Senator. Sorry if I mispronounced your last name.
We'll get it right next time.
Greenstein.
Mine is equally hard, so I
Yes.
understand.
Multisyllabic, I get it.
Exactly, but the main thing is that our senator is supporting this public awareness initiative with a bill that is in front of the Assembly right now. We need to start somewhere.
And the bill would be an outreach and awareness campaign?
Yes, that the state has adopted a mandate for a public awareness campaign. It will take some time to flesh out the details of that campaign, but when there is time, talent, and resources put towards something, and it's now the law, it will move much faster.
Very
so
good.
That's a new and different way that the community may not know about, that we're trying to raise awareness. When there's more awareness, it makes it okay to talk about,
Yes.
right? Oh, I saw that here in New Jersey, there are resources for people who
It does
have
make it
cognitive
okay. It makes it safe
Yes.
to talk about.
Destigmatizes
Yes.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
So we love working with the state because we want to make sure people as residents of New Jersey know that they have benefits just by being residents that our state is providing them with, in addition to the free benefits that we're providing. Because my mantra is, can we build a safety net around these families on this journey and make sure that they have a care plan from the moment of I think something's wrong to the day that we say goodbye to our loved one? Can we make sure they're properly supported?
And the family, too.
That's right. So how do we do this? We never ask for a dime from anyone who is participating in our programs or asking for help from the association. But what we do is we do fundraisers, and they're a lot of fun. And of course, we have donors who are just charitable. They leave us money from their estates. They give us major gifts because they're philanthropic. Or they may
It's important to
participate. We have so many wonderful donors. I'd like to thank all of you very much. They come in all shapes and sizes, and they donate in all ways that feel meaningful to them.
You know, as a nonprofit like yours, people don't realize that, and it's said a lot, but it's meaningful. Every dollar matters.
Yes,
if
it
you can
does.
only afford to give us a few dollars, it goes a long way. If everyone does that,
That's right. That's right.
we'll be able to achieve our goals.
And that's why awareness is even more important, because just like our political representatives all feel this impacts all of us, so we should all be aware and thinking about it. Families feel the same way, even if they're not experiencing dementia, if their neighbor is, if their spouse's neighbor is. Everyone knows someone who is impacted. And I believe that people are good at the core and charitable at the core if it's something that they believe is well invested. That's why when I look at an organization like SCAN and I see your seniors coming in and out and all that you do for them, and I look at my team and the work that we do, I say, you know, these are worthy causes that people can get behind. Our walks to end Alzheimer's, they raise $100 million across the country.
Goodness.
Here in New Jersey, we're targeting just over $1 million this year.
That's awesome.
We will get there.
So they're not all in June.
No. The walks to end Alzheimer's are typically in September and October.
All right, in the fall. Yeah.
And some
yeah.
are even in November, depending on where you are in the country.
Let's say here in the Garden State.
Oh, ours are in September and October. The Monmouth Ocean Walk is going to be held September 22nd at the Bradley Beach Boardwalk.
Great.
Is this all on your website?
It is.
All right, so
we'll give that out too.
We'll put, yeah.
It is.
Okay, we'll make sure all of that's in the show notes so that people can, no one's going to remember everything.
Of course, because
Yeah.
it's so much. But one thing that I want to mention is that walk is a year-round event. That may sound silly because I just said it was on September 22nd. How could it be year-round? But when you're involved in the walk, it starts in January and it doesn't end until December 31st. We're out
Now,
doing...
is part of your role to put these walk leaders in place or walk
Yes,
teams?
yes, absolutely. We have amazing committees that lead this work. Some of the dancers
Can we
last
borrow
night.
some
Yeah.
of them?
Yes,
I'd like
I'll
to
share.
give them our number.
I'll
Really?
share. So some of the dancers at the program last night are some of my lead volunteers. They're passionate about this because it's touched their life. And it always amazes me, people who are working full-time, a lot of responsibility at work, raising children. They come to me and say, Cheryl, this is important to me. What can I do? And I'm just in awe of our volunteers because they give of themselves even when they're stretched so thin. So they're out there registering walk teams. We just did a Coffee for a Cause event at Spire Coffee in Toms River on Monday.
I love that.
Yes, it was so fun. And
So how did that work?
It worked out well. I asked the business owner, you have such a lovely place. Would you be interested in doing Coffee for a Cause? And I have my name tag on. Immediately he said yes. I was kind of bowled over.
So how did it work? I mean, how would it? I go in, I want a cup of coffee.
Yes.
And part of what I purchase goes towards.
No, how it works is your coffee's on me if you register a walk team.
Oh,
That's how it works.
Got it.
You
got
can
it.
enjoy the coffee shop and socialize with
Very
us, but
cool.
I pick up your tab if you
Very
You
register.
should do that at a bar. You'll have like 40 teams.
We also do cocktails for a cause, but
Yeah.
we have to be cautious.
Yeah.
One cocktail for a cause.
Then you'll need Uber for a cause
Exactly.
after that.
That'll
Yeah,
be
you will,
next.
you will.
That'll be next. But so we thank that shop owner, but here is what typically happens. After the Coffee for a Cause, we registered 7 new teams on Monday. I thanked the
What a
shop
great
owner.
idea.
He said, can I register a team? And told me his story, that he lost his dad
See,
to
because
Alzheimer's.
everyone has a story.
So the walk this is what I mean by it's a year-round event. And we're so grateful for SCAN's support of this on Monday night.
Oh, let's talk about
Yeah,
that.
talk about that event.
We're excited. SCAN is hosting a kickoff event for us right here on Monday night. Is that the community room?
In our community room, folks, June 10th, Monday night from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we'll be joined by
Wowzitude.
who's going to put on which is a
Virtual
great name,
travel.
virtual travel event.
Right. So remember we talked about staying engaged, socially active, learning
Right.
something new every day. Virtual travel is wonderful because a lot of us as we age, maybe we can't get around Europe anymore. Or maybe we can't sit on the beach in Aruba in the direct sun anymore. You know, there are a lot of things we have to think about, but we shouldn't have to give up the joy of travel.
So this is like armchair travel.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes.
I like
and
it.
I have been an avid world traveler my whole life, and I'm so busy right now that I can't even go. So I'm excited because I have been to Lima, Peru in person, and she is going to be taking us.
Oh, is that where we're going?
Yes,
All
Monday
right, I
night.
didn't know that. I'll bring my passport.
That's right. The owner of Wowzitude is bringing us to Lima, Peru on Monday.
Great.
Very cool.
We should
Right.
have made some Peruvian dishes, but we'll talk about that offline.
I am bringing food. I don't think it's Peruvian.
We could
though.
say it is.
In spirit.
Yeah.
But so this is what I mean about Walk being a year-round event. Walk Day is very important, but it could rain cats and dogs on Walk Day, and it doesn't even matter. Our sponsors, we make sure that they get the benefits of associating with the Alzheimer's Association all year, not just on Walk Day. We're supporting their residents. We're making sure that their employees are well trained and well educated on these topics. We're doing whatever we can to be a good community partner because collaboration is
It's everything.
is
We
what
know
makes
that.
this
Something
work.
we found for sure, especially as a small nonprofit from our point
Yep.
of view. Collaboration helps you amplify your message and your mission.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned before you were in corporate America, you had a whole career there, but you always had this seed of notion that older adults was something you wanted to be involved in and passionate about. Where did that come from?
Well, I think that I had a lot of older adult role models who I was pretty impressed by. I had aunts and uncles who lived through World War II.
Oh, in your family.
Yes, and my father was a World War II veteran. And, you know, I have this strong belief that our older adults, they built this country to what it is today.
The greatest generation.
Yes, they did.
And I feel like we owe them the respect of a dignified journey right to their last day here.
And you see other cultures where they really lift up the
They
senior
revere.
members.
They revere their
and revere
elders.
them, and not so much here,
No.
where we're all just focused on, the next thing. And so your association, just the work you're doing to raise awareness, raise money, and help defeat this terrible disease is just really unbelievable. Thank you for all the great work that you do.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Well, thank you. And I want to say that I think that our younger generation, they want to do the right thing. And I think we are helping to educate them as well so that they can help their parents and grandparents navigate through cognitive challenges and be better informed so that they can access a great treatment plan maybe to prevent it from happening to
So
them.
as we wrap up here, why don't you give folks the information, website, where they can find out more?
Okay, ALS.org will get you any information that you need to know about dementia care and support services. ALS.org/NJ Walk is where you can register a team for the walk, because I want to see you on walk day and all year round.
ALS.org/NJ Walk, folks. Go there and sign up your team and help the Alzheimer's Association and all of us here raise awareness for brain health and support the cause for Alzheimer's. Cheryl Francione, Executive Director of the Alzheimer's Association, we thank you so much for coming on the show. This was one of the best episodes we've ever done, and we're excited for Monday night, the event right here on June 10th.
Off to Peru.
And
Yes.
thank you for what you do. Our seniors
you.
need us.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Well, that's it for this episode, folks. We'll try to do better next time. Catch us again on the Senior Moments podcast. My name is Mike.
I'm Andrea.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks again to New Jersey Natural Gas, the Save Green Project, and our friends here at Monmouth Mall. Have a great day, everyone.